please remain all standing for our opening prayer. So who wants to volunteer? Yes, Bustillos. Okay, you will now start. In the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. And of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So once again, good afternoon. Okay, you will now all seated. So before we start our topic for today's class, let me check your attendance first. Okay. Okay, very good. There's no absent for today's session. So let's start our discussion or our topic for today. So before I introduce our topic, class, let me share to you our presentation today. Okay. So once again, I am your teacher in mathematics. So this is my profile. So you can call me Sir Raveen. Okay? So thank you. So right now, class, I have a question. So what are last topic, last meeting? So who wants to volunteer? Please raise your hand. Okay, good. So what are topic last meeting? Okay, that's right. Our topic last meeting is all about percents or percentages. So let's give the Gutong a hand of applause. So okay, now class, I prepared one motivational activity for you today in order to know or to hint to you what is our topic or what is our lesson for today. So let me introduce to you our motivational activity or the warm-up activity. So our warm-up activity is all about translate the following statements into mathematical phrases or equations. So there are four equations or there are four problems here to translate this following. So before you answer this one, class, let me give you one example on how to translate it into mathematical phrases or equations. So let's proceed. So I give you one more example. Letter A, 10 more than a number. So how can we translate it into mathematical expression or equation? So this is how we do it. So the answer of this is n plus 10. So n represent here a number, then the plus sign here represent the more than the 10 is represent the 10 word here. So the answer of that or the mathematical expression of this 10 more than a number is n plus 10. So that is how to translate mathematical phrases or equations. So, nag-gets niyo ba? So, okay, so you may now start answering our motivational activity for today. So, we may now start sa letter B, C, and letter D. So, I'll give you 10 minutes of our time to answer. So, you can write it into 1/4 sheet of paper. And after 10 minutes, you can pass it to me. So, you may now begin. Okay, class, time is up. So now, please pass your paper to me. Okay, thank you so much, class. Let's check if your answer is right. So let's check letter B to letter C. So who wants to volunteer to answer letter B to D? Okay, twice the product of two numbers. Our answer is 2, open parenthesis, 8 plus B and close parenthesis. So the answer of Malaran is right. So who wants to volunteer to letter C? A certain number plus 7 nines. Okay, Paddy. Okay, let's check if your answer is right. Then the answer of that is n plus 7 over 9. So the answer of Paddy is also correct. Then let's proceed to the letter B. The difference of two numbers is key. So the answer of that is A minus B equals Q. So all you correct of this answer? Okay, very good. So that is our motivational activity for today's class. So please give a hand of applause for your cooperation for today's first activity. Okay, so now I have a question. So do you have any idea what is our topic for today? Okay, bilisin nyo. Yes, it's about algebra. Okay, let's check if your answer is right. So before that, let me share to you our objectives. So our objectives for today's lesson is to use different strategies to solve for the unknown in simple equations involving more operations with whole numbers and fractions. The second is to demonstrate through investigation and understanding of variables as unknown quantities represented by a letter or other symbol. And lastly is demonstrate through investigation understanding of the use of variables in equations. So that is our goals for today's lesson. So, you hit our topic right. So, we listen inside algebra. So, let's check if her answer is right. So, our topic for today is all about introduction of algebra, focusing on simple equation involving more operations. So, Bilusino is right. So, let's proceed to the next slide. What is simple equation involving more operation? So, when we say simple equation involving more operations, that is solving an equation means to find the value of the variable which will make the equality statement through. Our basic technique in solving equation is to place the variable on one side of the equation. However, some equations have more than one variable term, one on each side, such as for example, the equation is 4c plus 7b equals 16 plus 5. To solve such equations, we must combine the variable and terms to make it as a single term before we can truly find the value of the variable. So that is what simple equation involving more operations are about. So do you have any questions or clarifications about this one, class? So in order, okay, there's none. So in order to getting more understandable of this topic, so let me give you an example. So these are the example of simple equation involving more operations. So a car rental agency has two plans. Under plan A, a car is rented for 80 pesos plus 20 pesos for each additional day. Under plan B, a car is rented for 120 pesos plus 15 pesos for each additional day. So the question is, what number of days will be sold in the same cost? So that is the given problem. So how to get the answer of this? So let's have a strategy. In strategy 1, first is to solve the problem above by forming an equation you have. So first step is to understand. So in understanding, there are two questions involved. So first question, class, is what is asked? So what is asked in the given problem? In the given problem is what number of day results in the same course. So that is what is asked to understand. The second question to understand is what are the given facts? So there are two given facts in the given problem, right? So what are the following? So anyone wants to volunteer? Okay, Bigonte? Okay, let's check if your answer is right. So what are the given facts there in the given problem? So let's check. Under plan A, a car is rented for 80 pesos plus 20 pesos for each additional day. So Bigonte is right. Then the second one is under plan B, a car is rented for 120 pesos plus 15 pesos for each additional day. So also Bigonte is correct. So that is the understand what it's all about. So the second step is to plan. So in planning, translate the phrase as 80 pesos plus 20 pesos for each day and 120 pesos plus 15 pesos each day into algebraic expression. So algebraic expression, I will discuss with you later on. You will know what is algebraic expression all about. So next step is to solve. So in solving, it says here that let D represent the number of days. So 80 pesos plus 20 pesos for each day equals 120 pesos plus 15 pesos for each day. So that is what solving all about. So let's proceed to the algebraic expression. So class, this is the algebraic expression. So the algebraic expression of this is the equation, which is 80 plus 20d plus 120 plus 15d. So that is the algebraic expression of that. So let's proceed to the next step, which is the equation. So the equation, so I state there the equation, which is the algebraic expression. So that is 1. So the question here, class, is how to solve or how to get the answer. So in order to get the answer, so we have a step-by-step process for the solution. So first step in solution is to subtract the 15d to both sides of it. So this is the result. 80 plus 20d minus 15d equals 120 plus 15d minus 15d. So the next step in this solution is to simplify it. So if you simplify it, so 20d minus 15d is equals 5d, which is natira yung 80. So you may bring down that. So the result is 80 plus 5d equals 120, since 15d minus 15d is 0. So, nagets nyo ba? So the next step of that, so this is not the final answer, so we have another step to get the solution and to get the answer. So here, so the first step is to subtract the 15d both sides. So here, in the next step is to subtract the 80 on both sides. So this is how do it. So 80 minus 80 plus 5d equals 120 minus 20. So again, in order to get the next step is to simplify it. So the answer of that is 5d equals 40. So the next step of that class is to divide in both sides the 5. So how to get that is to divide it. So the answer of that is 5d divided by 5 equals 40 over 5 divided by 5. So the answer of that, or to get the answer, is d equals 8, since 5 divided by 5, so you may cash out on that, then yung natira is that hindi na lang, then 40 divided by 5 is equals to 8. So therefore, the answer of that class is the cost would be the same for 8 days. So that is the answer in the given problem that I give to you that example earlier. So any question so far? Since this is algebra, so okay, thank you. There's no question. So hindi pa tapos yung step na ito. So nakita na natin yung answer. So let's proceed to the next step. This is to check. So in checking class, this is how you do it. So substitute b equals 8 in the equation. So how you do it, class, is to get the another step, which is 80 plus 20 times 8, since substitute the d into 8, then equals 120 plus 15d. So there are other d here, so substitute into 8, so 15 times 8. So to get the answer is to simplify it. So 80, so 20 times 8 equals to 160 plus 80 is equals to 240. 120 plus 15 times 8 is equals to 120. So the answer of that is 240. So you get the right amount of equation on the given problem. So therefore, the equals 8 is a solution to the equation 80 plus 20b equals 120 plus 15b. So, do you have any clarification again or any question? Okay, thank you so much. So, I guess there's none. So now I assume that you understand our topic. So let me give you our first activity, which is activity 1. So this is our activity 1. Answer and solve the following question. Show your complete solution. A Samsung company has 2 plans under plan A. Samsung company invests 200 pesos plus 10 pesos for each additional day. Under plan B, Samsung company invests for 150 pesos plus 5 pesos for each additional day. So the question is, what number of days will result in the same cost? So the given problem here is the same in the given problem example earlier. So you may answer it to your one whole sheet of paper. Then I will give you 10 to 15 minutes of our time. So we now start. Okay, class, the time is up, so you may now pass your paper to me. Okay? Okay, just okay. Thank you so much. So let's check your answer if that is correct. So anyone who wants to volunteer the answer, what is the days of the given problem or the question in the given problem? Okay, the equation of that is 100 plus 10b equals 150 plus b. So this is the answer of the following activity that I give to you earlier. So that is the answer. So the total of it is 10 points in equation, and then the cheating is 10 points, so 20 points in total. So this is our second activity class. So it's done. So let's proceed to the topic. Okay, listen class. This topic is very important. So our second one is two properties, which is addition property and multiplication property. So it's also included in the topic simple equation involving more explanation. So these are the two properties of it. So when we say about addition property and multiplication property, so addition property, that is add the same number on both sides. And it's subtract the same number both sides. So that is addition property class. So when we say about multiplication property class, that is multiply the same number on both sides. And the multiplication property, that is to divide the same number on both sides. So that is what the two properties means, which are the addition property and multiplication property. So any question? Okay, thank you. So let's proceed to the example of it. So the example of two properties, which is this. Solve 5a plus 9 plus 4a plus 15. So here's the solution. So listen, this is very important class. Okay? 5a plus 9 plus 4a plus 15. So that is the equation. Then how to solve it or how to get the answer. The first step in the solution is to subtract 9 from both sides of the equation. So we will subtract it. So the result is 5a plus 9 times 9 equals 4a plus 15 minus 9. And then the next step is to subtract it or to simplify it. So the result is 5a equals 4a plus 6. So the next step, class, is to subtract 4a from both sides of the equation. Since the first one is to subtract the 9, then the second is to subtract 4a from both sides. So the result is 5a minus 4a equals 4a minus 4a plus 6. So in order to get the answer, so here's the result. So a equals 6. So that is the answer. Okay, class, gets niyo ba? Do you have any clarification about this? No. Okay. I guess there is none. So let's proceed to our activity number 3, since you already understand the two properties. So this is the activity 3. Solve the following equation. 3m plus 5 equals m plus 9. So you may write it to your 1/2 sheet of paper. So I will give you 10 to 15 minutes of our time to answer it. So if you're done, so you again pass it to me. So you may now start. Okay, now class time is up, so you may now pass your paper to me. And then let's check if your answer is right. So please, okay, thank you. So let's check. So this is the answer. So 2 is the answer. So this the total of the score of it is 10 points. So you are correct. Okay, so we will check your paper of this. So now the third activity is done. So let's proceed to our elaboration, which is also under the topic, which is simple equation involving more operation. So let's proceed to the application and problem solving. So again, please lend me your ears because this topic is very important. So example number 3, 3 times a number decreased by 8 is the same as twice the number increased 15. So find the numbers. So let's solve it to know what is the answer. So this is the solution of the given problem. So first is to understand again, then what is asked of the given problem is the number. So what are the given facts? 3 times a number decreased by 8 is the same as twice the number increased by 15. So that is the first step. The second step is what again? Okay, Abunetay? Okay, is to translate the sentence into an equation. So 3 times a number decreased by 8, which is, this is the result, is the same as equals twice the number, so 2x increased by 15, so positive 15. So again, the next step is to solve the equation. So first is equation, which is 3x minus 8 equals 2x plus 15. Then the second step is to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. So class, you must not forget that. Both sides is to subtract 2x. Okay, so the next step, class, is to simplify. So the result of it is x minus 8 equals to 15. So the next step, class, is to add 8 to both sides of the, okay, sorry class, add 8 to both sides of the equation. So x minus 8 plus 8 equals 15 plus 8. Since we add 8 to both sides, so that is the result. So the next step is to get the answer, which is the answer is x equals to 23. Therefore, we need to check it if the answer is right. So in checking, so this is the following equation of it. So the answer of that is 61 equals 61. So therefore, the x equals 23 is the solution to the equation 3x minus 8 equals 2x plus 15. So 23 is correct. So that is how to get the answer on the given problem earlier. So that is how to do it. So again, do you understand the topic? Do you understand the lesson? Because if you understand, we have to get, or we have the final activity, which is to evaluate you class if you understand or you really listen to our discussion. So this is our final activity, which is evaluation to solve for the unknown, show your complete solution. So this is the following given equation. So you can write it to your one whole sheet of paper. So I will give you 15 minutes of the time to answer it. So Do you have any question? Okay, you may now start. Okay, now class, time is up, so you may now pass your paper to me. So class, the score of this activity is a total of 50 points. So we're running out of time, so I will be the one to check it to my house. So this is the answer of it, but we're running out of time, so I will check it later on. So before we end our session for today, so I will give you our assignment. So our assignment class is to solve the problem. Carlo has 98 customers in his newly built coffee shop. This is more than twice the number of his customers last year. How many customers did we have last year? And please, class, search and advise study about the statistics and probability. So this is our assignment. So write it on your assignment notebook. Okay, but before we end up our session for today, class, let me remind you that our topic for today is very important to know because we can apply it to our daily life, especially our financial crisis, financial problem, and also we become creative or we become creative to ourselves in order to solve this type of problem. So that is the reason why this topic is very important to know. So again, do you have any clarification and questions regarding this topic? Okay, thank you. So very good. Let me give you a hand of applause because you listen very well. So class, are you done writing this assignment to your notebook? I guess you're done. So please all stand for our closing prayer. Okay, please stand. Okay, let's start in the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. As the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, and will be forever. Amen. And then the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So once again, class, thank you so much for your cooperation and being attentive for today's discussion. So, thank you so much. Goodbye. Bye class. So, please go home.